Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeff Trevarthen, Jeff the Mortgage Pro. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Today, I've got a good one for you. This one's about a DSCR case study. This is a really popular topic amongst investors across the United States using this DSCR loan. It's a different way to qualify. And I thought the best way to illustrate this type of a product would be to just give you an example of something that would work out. And let's see what it looks like here, okay? So before I get into it real quick, if you like my videos, please do me a huge favor and click the like button down below. And then also, please feel free to subscribe and make sure to share this with your friends and family. I'd love to help them out as well in terms of doing DSCR loans. These are some of my favorite loans to do and help investors across the country do this. Okay, so jumping right in, we're going to do a case study on a property in Chicago. It's a 3-unit property, also called a triplex, or in Chicago, it's called a 3-flat. This property is just a picture of it located in Chicago. The list price is $450, and the rental income provided per unit is $1,600 a month in this instance. Okay, so if we dig into the numbers here a little bit to see what a DSCR transaction actually looks like, you can see that the standard DSCR parameters, $450,000 purchase price. We typically want 25% down. So in this example, I put 25% down. I've seen DSCR loans that go as little as 20% down, and even very rarely 15% down, but the profile has to really make sense for a 15% down loan. But let's go with the standard of 25% down. So that's $112,500. And then in this case, $337,500 is our loan amount on this property. Interest rate as of right now, roughly 8.5%. So we're just using this as an example number. That's not a specific quote or anything like that. But 8.5% is a fair market rate for DSCRs right now. Monthly payment, principal, interest, taxes, insurance on this ends up being $34.63 per month. So if we do some math here, this is how we figure out the DSCR ratio. So the monthly payment, $34.63. The rental income coming in, remember on the first slide, $1,600 per unit. So that's a total of $4,800 a month. And what we do to figure out what the DSCR ratio is, as long as the income coming in is greater than the expenses going out, that means that the DSCR is going to be greater than 1. And in this case, it's 1.39. So since 3463 is less than 4800, the DSCR is 1.39. In this instance, that's a really good cash flowing property. So if you were going to buy this and you found this deal on the market, this would be a smoking deal to buy this property using the DSCR parameters. That means that this property is going to have a cash flow of $1,337 a month, which is pretty dang awesome in this case. What I also wanted to show you kind of as a rough estimate of closing costs that are associated with buying properties using DSCR loans. So where you're going to see there's a little bit of a difference between just like a conventional primary residence loan or even an investment property loan is the discount points. So for the most part, these DSCR loans come with a cost. And so in this example, this is going to cost us 2.5 points to be able to get this particular property. And so that involves the cost of their interest rate and also the cost or compensation to the lender in most cases. So you can see in this instance, 2.5 points is $8,437. An estimate for lender fees, we're going to say $2,500. So like processing, underwriting, maybe some admin fees in there, things like that, roughly $2,500. Title and escrow fees, another just estimate number, you're going to have about $3,500. Prepaids like insurance on your property, prepaid interest on the loan, and then potential taxes, just an estimate, $1,500. So our total estimate for closing costs in this instance, $15,937. Okay, so it could get a little bit expensive when you're doing DSCR stuff. A rough estimate for cash to close is just taking the down payment that we have in this instance, so $112,500 plus our closing costs, $15,937, and that gives us a total amount of $128,437 for our rough estimate on the cash to close. Now, one more thing that's really important to mention when you're working on DSCR transactions is they typically require what's called reserves. So this is a non-QM loan. It's a business purpose type of a loan. You'll see on conventional loans for investment properties, you typically need reserves. Jumbo loans typically need reserves. Sometimes even government loans need reserves depending on credit scores and profiles and things like that. So reserves is just it's not money that you actually have to put into the transaction. It's just money that has to be somewhat liquid and available should something go awry. So in most instances, you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 6 months for the DSCR loan reserves. So in this case, we're going to just assume that it's going to be 6 months. So principal, interest, tax, and insurance times 6 months. So 3463 times 6 gives us 20,778 for our reserves. And again, this isn't money that you have to put in the transaction. This just needs to be something that's somewhat liquid and available, and it's used as a risk calculation for the lender. Lastly, checking savings accounts, stocks, bonds, IRAs, 401ks, etc. All these things can be used as reserves. So just so you know, when you're doing the DSCR transactions, make sure that you have that in your calculations as to how you can afford this. Okay? So hopefully this case study is really helpful for you. Obviously, we could do case studies on 1 unit or 2 unit or 3 unit or 4 unit properties, and they would all probably be somewhat similar. So in the event of that you need a DSCR loan, I would love to be the one that helps you out. So do me a favor, go ahead and click on my calendar link down below, and let's schedule an appointment. Let's talk about your investment property purchase using a DSCR loan. And thanks again. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next show. Have a good day. Bye.